And Michael, I know you personally have been particularly active in both drawing attention to the plight of those displaced residents in northern Israel. You've been active in Washington and also here in Israel trying to help out. I want to ask you about that. And also whether you see a sort of light at the end of the tunnel for them, maybe impacted somewhat by some of the developments we've been discussing.
I've been involved with the North now for over a year. It wasn't being covered by the world press, not the American media. There was no awareness in Washington. So I brought a series of delegations of displaced Israelis to Washington for meetings with both houses of Congress, both parties, and finally in the White House. All these delegations went into the White House and met with the senior staff of both the president and the vice president, and a lot of media. In between, also raising money for the North. It was appalling what the North was missing. Everything from
you
guard
worked with
positions.
Hatzalah, I believe, also.
So I'm an ambassador for Hatzalah. So we put these two together and we raised money to bring in tourniquets, to bring in oxygen tanks. I mean, really, they had nothing. And then for a period, I did military service in the North also. So I saw really firsthand what was missing. You won't believe, I would sit in meetings at these kibbutzim in the North, and you'd think you were in 1948, whether there was enough sand for sandbags and how we're going to evacuate the kids and old people if Hezbollah penetrates the border and comes out and takes over these settlements. It was quite appalling. I think the situation is improving greatly. Having said all that, I think what the reporter said was absolutely right. There will be no return of the 100,000 displaced Israelis unless they're assured that Hezbollah will not return to the border area. And maybe there are advances, maybe there's progress in the negotiations with Lebanon on applying retroactively Resolution 1701 from the Security Council of 2006, which calls on Hezbollah to redeploy north of the Litani River and have some type of international force, UNIFIL, to secure that sort of a no man's land between. It didn't work in 2006 at all. Hezbollah was immediately along the border. Maybe they can get Hezbollah to withdraw north of the Litani River. The big question is, will Israel have the right then to intercede in that area between the border and the Litani should Israel feel that Hezbollah is once again deploying there?